आपको अगर इतनी दिक्कत हो रही है इनसाइडर्स से और स्टार चिल्ड्रन से, तो आप मत देखो उनकी फिल्में, आप हमारी फिल्में देखो थिएटर में. आई समटाइम्स वंडर कि यार इंडिया में बॉलीवुड ही प्रॉब्लम बची है क्या? सारे प्रॉब्लम खत्म हो गए, मतलब नौकरियां मिल गई सबको, इकोनॉमी ठीक हो गई, जो लेबरर्स चल के गए थे घर वो सब अपने या तो घर पहुंच गए या वापस आके नौकरियां मिल गई उन सबको, भुखमरी खत्म हो गई इंडिया में, रेप जो हमारा एक एपिडेमिक है इंडिया में वो खत्म हो गया, मर्डर्स जो इतने हो रहे हैं वो सब ठीक हो गया. सो नाउ द ओनली प्रॉब्लम इन इंडिया इज बॉलीवुड.
Hi guys, this is Ankita. You're tuned into peepingmoon.com and today we have with us Swara Bhaskar. So let's ask her something straight away. Why are you calling yourself the wrong soul for this industry? Why?
Well, I think that I've been sort of like a bit of a jaldi, and that's really who I actually am. And I think that the hardest that I've had to struggle in the industry has been with myself, because I have had to sort of really learn how to be glamorous and all of that, you know, the wearing the heels, the ting part of acting is what I have had to work the hardest on. So that's why I always say that I'm the wrong soul for Bollywood, because I've had to, like, I got my first facial after coming to Bollywood. I got my eyebrows threaded for the first time after coming to Bollywood. मतलब ये हाल है, इतने basic थे हम. So yeah.
You're a DU, a JNU pass out. So is my. So I'm asking you, actor कहाँ से मतलब?
Well, yeah, man. So I that's the other thing, right? Like मुझे लगता है कि इतनी सारी पढ़ाई लिखाई मतलब करने का क्या फायदा? नहीं, not really. I mean, I think that the fact that I wanted to be in films is actually a testimony to how powerful Bollywood is in terms of just, you know, shaping our public imagination and our public culture. Like, films play such a strong role in our lives, in the lives of just the Indian public, you know. And I think I'm a great example of that, because like there's literally nobody in my family has ever been in the film industry. My parents are professionals. Nothing in the kind of education or training that I received was like sort of in any way geared toward the glamour industry or showbiz. I'm not even a trained actor. Like, I've not even been to drama school, you know. So just the fact that even a person like me, who has all this very strong intellectual influences, wanted to go to Bollywood is just a testimony to the power of Chitrahar, actually, and Super Hit Muqabla, because that's how my Bollywood dream started. It was from watching Chitrahar.
But Swara, honestly, I was doing a bit of research on you. I need to hear it from you. What was the moment कि मैं actress बनना चाहती हूँ? When did Swara Bhaskar got that bell? मुझे बनना है.
It's actually really embarrassing. Okay, two things. So it was when Omkara released, and I was, I think, I must have been in school, just college maybe, just first year of college, I can't remember. And I remember watching Omkara, and I was just like blown by how amazing that film was. And I was just like, and I remember watching it and being like, I want to see myself on this screen someday. And that was one. But then I basically, when I was in my MA, I started getting dreams of literally of like being on set, like जो भी आपने फिल्मों में देखा है set का, उस time तो मुझे पता नहीं था कुछ, and उस time जो भी release जिसके भी हो रहे थे, so I think Shah Rukh sir had a release and Abhishek Bachchan had a release, so I'm like dreaming of Abhishek Bachchan, of Shah Rukh Khan, of being on set with them, and like every day ही dream आ रही है, तो 3-4 बार होने के बाद I was like, यार मुझे लगता है कि मेरी subconscious मुझे कुछ sign दे रही है, मेरी unconscious mind और subconscious mind, and I was like, ले लेते हैं ये hint, because I don't want to be having these dreams when I'm like 50 years old. So I better, whatever chances I want to take, I better take them in my 20s. Like when I'm 20, 21, 22 is the time to do this experiment, not when you're 50. So that's actually how I decided. I was like, I have to stop having these dreams. I was like, I can't keep dreaming. I didn't want any of those dreams. It's kind of really pathetic because it sounds so filmy and bizarre. But that's actually how I came to Bollywood.
Did you ever tell SRK that उन्होंने सपनों में आके आपको acting की तरफ direct किया?
यार मैं actually आई थी शाहरुख बनने. I was like, वो लोग कहते हैं मैं माधुरी दीक्षित बनना चाहती हूँ, मैं शाहरुख खान बनना चाहती थी. फिर जब मैं यहाँ आई, मैंने देखा कि शाहरुख खान तो बिल्कुल यहाँ पे राज कर रहे हैं और वो कहीं जाने नहीं वाले. Then I was like, चलो कोई बात नहीं, स्वरा भास्कर ही बन जाते हैं. So
really good, really fun. But Swara, before I get to flesh, I had to ask you, and please let me allow. Despite being an outsider, बड़े clear शब्दों में आप हमेशा कहती हैं सबका struggle अपना है. आपका struggle, मेरा struggle, we have an individual struggle. उससे किसी industry को, चाहे वो nepotistic debate हो या किसी भी status की debate हो, उसको relate करना हम अपनी ही struggle को undermine कर रहे हैं या अपने ही efforts को. आप सुन के इसलिए अच्छा लगता है क्योंकि you yourself being an outsider are very clear कि मैं इस डिबेट के हिस्से को नहीं एग्री करती. Was it always the clear cut thought कि आपने यहाँ आने के बाद एक्सपीरियंस करा है ना?
No, I actually, the reason, and I can understand what the appeal of this insider-outsider debate is to our audiences that don't actually know anything about the reality of this industry, right? So, of course, see, let's start by saying one thing. There is outsider-insider is basically about privilege, right? So, there is no denying that the insider of any industry, if you're born into one of the top families in that industry, it could be the business industry, it could be the media industry, it could be whatever it is, you will have easier access. That is the privilege of your birth. This is true for films, this is true for modeling, this is true for politics, this is true for journalism, this is true for electronic media, this is true for business, this is true for this is true for I guess for a mochi, like, right, for everybody, for, you know, like, अभी रिक्शे वाले का बेटा भी अगर रिक्शा वाला ही बनना चाहता है तो उसके पास रिक्शा है उसके पापा का, right? But of course उस तबके पे no, everybody, I mean, it's also about, like, I'm not trying to trivialize, but I'm just saying that. So the thing is that when I was in my first few years in the industry, I used to feel very you know, like, oh, these insiders, these star kids have it so easy, इन्हें तो launch मिल जाता है, इनकी life कितनी आसान होती है, you feel that. And I actually remember how that changed. That actually changed when I started becoming friends with the star children, and actually when I met Sonam. And I began to, when I got to know her, and firstly I realized that where you're born has nothing to do with being a good person or a bad person, right? Or it has nothing to do with good behavior or bad behavior. And I have always said this, I have found that some of the most professional co-actors have been the star kids. And some of the most unprofessional co-actors have been the outsiders. And I'm sorry, but this is the truth, because abuse of power and abuse of your privilege has nothing to do with where you're born. And that's all I keep saying, that the insider-outsider debate, that we have to stop beyond the point. We acknowledge that you're born with privilege, but beyond a point, you cannot judge people on where they're born. Like, it's such a pointless debate, right? And I think that again, my other big thing is that the star system is created by audiences and by media, right? So आपको अगर इतनी दिक्कत हो रही है insiders से और star children से, तो आप मत देखो उनकी फिल्में, आप हमारी फिल्में देखो थिएटर में. किसने रोका आपको? वो तो नहीं रोक रहे आपको, है ना? अभी तैमूर को स्टार किसने बना दिया है 4 साल की उम्र में? It's not Kareena and Saif, it's us, it's the media, it's the people on Instagram who have Taimur fan clubs on Instagram. Taimur is right now a bigger star than most of us. So what I'm saying is that you can't now blame Saif and Kareena ना कि तुमने बच्चे पैदा क्यों करे. अरे हम क्यों तैमूर को स्टार बना रहे हैं अगर हमें इतनी दिक्कत है? So the problem actually is that we are a country that is feudal in our value system. We like this kind of dynastic thing. We are curious about it, and so we create those stars from those people. There is a genuine interest that the audience has in how Sridevi's daughter is going to seem. है ना? So let's acknowledge our own interest in the star children before we start abusing them all the time.
I asked you this question honestly. Everyone is talking about कि आप outsiders को chance नहीं देते. As you said, फिल्में नहीं देखते. Example, हमारी फिल्में देखिए, हमारा talent आगे आप लेके जाइए. Ali Fazal had just a Hollywood part. The trailer came out, and why there are no likes on that trailer and more dislikes?
And also forget that, no likes on the trailer. This is a ridiculous headline.
Yeah, that like, it's a
so right, you see, like, and Richa actually called it out. So right there, the media itself is, here's a guy who is actually Ali is doing some stellar work in Hollywood. He has starred in a leading role with Judi Dench in Victoria and Abdul, or I think that's what the film is called. I mean, with Judi Dench, she's like one of the biggest, most legendary actors in Britain. It's a lovely film, and Ali's done a great job. Ali is doing so well in Hollywood. He's really charting a path for himself. Instead of appreciating that, I mean, this film is a huge multi-star cast film. Instead of appreciating that, what is the headline that our Indian media house gives? Is that, oh, Ali is in a blink and you miss it role? Really? Like, would you ever write that about the Star Kids or other people? So खुद ही आप outsiders को तवज्जो नहीं देते हो. खुद ही आप, मतलब not आप, but like आप वो you're creating a culture of actually creating a culture where you're based on dynastic values. And then खुद ही आप गालियां दे रहे हो. I mean, you tell me something. When there was this big controversy when Shah Rukh's daughter was on the Vogue cover, and everyone was like, yeah, well, but like, why are you asking Shah Rukh or his daughter? Ask the magazine. Ask the media house. Ask the publishers and ask the audiences.
And the problem is here that if, example, because we know, at least as a viewer point of view, I can say that you are very clear. If you want to state out an opinion, be it on any social media platform, you do. And we have the right to dissent. We have a right to, as a citizen, we have a right to put out our opinions. Then why everything ends up becoming such a big human cry, and it's dissected, created into a controversy till the time it's not beaten to death? It's every time.
I mean, it's a really bad, I really feel that we are functioning in a very, very destructive public culture. And our whole public discourse has become completely, it's ill-informed, it's misinformed, we believe rumors, we don't wait for facts, and it's just a culture of accusation and counter-accusation, and we're seeing that almost in every issue that's coming up. And I don't think this is helpful at all. I mean, इससे कोई कुछ नहीं सुलझ रहा, कुछ हमें, I actually feel very, very strongly about, and I've said this before also, but we are spawning a culture of stupidity. That's all we're doing. This is not going to help anybody.
Because it's like calling pot shots and creating controversies every day because you want to have a headline with a star name in it. That's what I read somewhere, and I was like, it is actually not so much untrue also, that somehow that we are attracting ourselves to every controversy, and if that controversy headline has a star name, then nothing like it.
And frankly speaking, I just want to say that this is, I sometimes wonder कि यार इंडिया में बॉलीवुड ही प्रॉब्लम बची है क्या? सारे प्रॉब्लम खत्म हो गए, मतलब नौकरियां मिल गई सबको, इकोनॉमी ठीक हो गई, जो लेबरर्स चल के गए थे घर, वो सब अपने या तो घर पहुंच गए या वापस आके नौकरियां मिल गई उन सबको, भुखमरी खत्म हो गई इंडिया में, रेप जो हमारा एक एपिडेमिक है इंडिया में वो खत्म हो गया, मर्डर्स जो इतने हो रहे हैं वो सब ठीक हो गया. So now the only problem in India is Bollywood. Like, are you kidding me? Like, so that it's exactly what you're saying, that I think it's a very dangerous culture where for TRPs, because you know that Bollywood will get TRPs, you're just running any news and making it news and anything on the ticker, and like अब तो मतलब यार मैं तो कह रही हूँ कि अब तो क्रिमिनल चीजें हो रही हैं, मतलब आप जिसे कहते हैं ना, कोई भी कुछ भी टीवी पे बोल रहा है किसी के भी बारे में, all of this is actually not legal. These are all criminal defamation. It is libelous. It can be, somebody can put a case on you for saying these things, but कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ रहा है किसी को. मतलब ये वही मैं कह रही हूँ कि ये एक ऐसा कल्चर है जहाँ पे ना सत्य की जरूरत है आपको, ना फैक्ट की जरूरत है आपको, ना लॉजिक की जरूरत है आपको, ना रैशनैलिटी की जरूरत है आपको बस हल्ले की जरूरत है. हल्ला करो, आओ और हल्ला मचाओ. So that's a very, I personally feel that we are really going down a very, very dangerous path as a public.
Let's deviate from that part for now. I want to get back to Radha Nautiyal. Now, what is this tough cop act? But for me, what attracted the most in one of the review was she's never playing a woman in a man's world. And that's what the first thing which caught my eye was one of these things I read. And I wanted to talk to you how you decided or what was your call to actually zero down a script? Though we know you always pick up, of course, the kind of scripts which normally I don't know why people don't want to pick up, but what was it that which caught your eye?
So basically for me there were three things. One was the story, which I think the issue, which is a very important issue, which I think that human trafficking is something that we don't talk about enough in our public, in content, in popular culture, in the kind of, in what we're seeing. I mean, I think that there are three Hindi films that I can remember that really deal with this issue, which is Mardani, Lakshmi and Love Sonia. Love Sonia was not even a Bollywood film. Other than that, we haven't really even looked at this in the 100-year history of Hindi cinema. Hardly, मतलब पिछले 5-10 साल में वो फिल्म 3 फिल्में बनी हैं. So एक तो मुझे लगा कि ये मुद्दा बहुत जरूरी है, ये आना चाहिए पब्लिक में, ये बात होनी चाहिए. दूसरा, it was once I started reading the script, like when I read, and I always judge this, especially with series, that if I can read it in one go. So if I start the first episode and then I read to the end without stopping, I'm like, wow, so this will be a good series. Because if in the written form I have been engaged, then definitely in the visual form I'll be engaged as well. It's an easier medium to attach yourself to. And the third was, of course, the character. So I've never played a cop before, and I've never donned a uniform before, and I've never done action before. So I was like, wow, this is a great opportunity all around. And that's how I agreed to do it. And of course, it was pretty amazing. Like it's been a real journey, and it's been really fun. And of course, the action was super hard. Like I was a disaster with the gun, and I really like. That gun was one scene. हाँ, that gun का मैंने एक पोस्ट भी डाला था उसका. तो पहली बार मैंने जो गन चलाया, मेरे कान के पर्दे फटे. तो उसके बाद तो मेरे अंदर एक गन को लेके टेरर ही बैठ गया मेरे अंदर. So yeah. So that is how actually Flesh came to me.
While watching the series, there's something which caught my attention. That there's a part which says that it takes almost 4 months for a missing case to be transferred to an anti-human trafficking unit, approximately.
Yeah.
Do you think by that time the damage is already done?
Of course. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert on the domain at all, and I don't know कि क्या उसकी details हैं and so on. But this is actually true, and I mean यार 4 महीने में तो, I mean of course 99% लोग recovery नहीं होते, because ये तो मतलब इतना बड़ा अगर lag, and I understand कि उसमें यार it's also hard, because you know in a lot of these cases you don't know if the person has run away themselves, or if कोई खुद लड़का या लड़की खुद भाग गया है घर से, because a lot of these kids they have also noticed that they are fleeing from very abusive and violent contexts in their own houses and in their families, and they're fleeing that, and then they get caught into this other even worse kind of oppression. So it's very hard to I mean there is a real difficulty there, but I think that and I was talking to Swati Maliwal, who is she's the chairperson of the Delhi Commission for Women, and she's a really tremendous woman and doing a lot of rescue work. And she said a very interesting thing. She said, all we need is for everyone to just do their job. If the cops just do their job, if the NGOs just do their job, if the shelter home people just do their job, if at every level people just do their job, if citizens just do their job, so that if they're seeing a child on the street crying, instead of passing him by, if they just stop and try to find out, maybe they will save that one child, because it could be that the next person जो उस बच्चे के पास आता है वो trafficker है. So just if everyone just does their job, so many people will just get saved by that. So I thought that was very interesting. That really stayed with me, when she said that.
In fact, when I was trying to read through the issue to talk to you, there's something which caught my eye on international tabloids. There has been a discussion for the longest time that maybe legalizing prostitution can end human trafficking. However, on the other hand, it's such a big debate that why do we have to ultimately have a rescue to the flesh trade? Why everything has to come down to, nobody's getting to the point that people are being sold for the sake of...
Yeah. So actually trafficking, it's interesting you bring that up, because the thing is that human trafficking is not only intended for prostitution. That is 80% of the prostitution and related flesh trade, sexual exploitation is 80% of what human trafficking ends up as. But there's also human trafficking for organ harvesting, meaning like organ transplant and so on.
Yep.
Illegal organ transplant. There's also human trafficking for labor, for
slavery
different forms of modern day bonded labor. And that's why, like for example, the US, the act in the US which pertains to human trafficking describes it as a kind of modern slavery. So I think that I think we should actually separate the debate on prostitution and whether or not prostitution should be legal, because that's a separate debate. And I think that we should look at trafficking. Trafficking is the process. उस प्रोसेस के एंड में क्या होता है वो एक अलग चीज है. आपको ये प्रोसेस काटना है पहले, राइट? क्योंकि वो खरीद फरोख्त जो है इंसानों का, वो तो प्रोसेस की शुरुआत में शुरू हो गई है ना. Then it just keeps getting exacerbated and that's where you end up. But I'm saying if you have to nip it here. Now, if somebody wants to, by choice, become a prostitute, I don't know, whatever. I mean, maybe that's what people want to do, or that happens. But that's a separate issue. I'm saying कि ये तो एक अलग issue है. इंसानों में, the trade in human beings and in children. I mean, can there be anything more paap than that? It's like evil, yeah. So I think that it's important to actually separate these debates and look at it. And if we had better child protection in our country, so that the children who are running away from their homes where they're getting beaten up, or their schools where they're getting beaten up, maybe that would just maybe that this problem needs to be looked at the early stages in different ways, as opposed to कि वो 4 महीने बाद जब ट्रैफिक हो चुकी है लड़की, फिर उसको ढूंढने, अभी क्या ढूंढने जाओगे यार, क्या मिलेगा आपको वहाँ पे, और किस हालत में मिलेगा ऐसा इंसान.
And the problem is that people end up subjecting all the cases of human trafficking, which was a common narrative I was seeing on the trailers as comments. You're again neutralizing it to one gender. People are forgetting that trafficking is a whole big issue, be it pertaining to a male or a female. Ultimately, it's an abuse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of certain human identity.
Absolutely.
I close with my last question with you. 11 years, films, TV, web. You have almost done everything. What's next, Swara? I'm not asking what next film. What is something you want to try your hand at? Maybe writing, maybe direction, maybe something. So you have a production house with your brother. That
वो अभी मतलब उसको हम setup करने के चक्कर में. So I've actually written a script and I'm working on a second one. So I'm trying to be able to put that together, and I'm now really hoping that I can start playing like I don't want to direct because I don't think I have that skill, but I write, so I want to be able to do that a little more. Of course, keep acting because I'm writing for myself because I'm selfish. But I want to be, and I also want to turn producer. I want to be able to actually actively put things together.
Yeah, like as Anushka said, that I want to tell stories which maybe nobody else wants to tell. I really want to, as a producer, come out and say those things which I don't think anyone else is ready to say with the voice.
Yeah, I mean, I want to, and because अभी तक जो मैं produce करना चाह रही हूँ वो सब मैंने खुद लिखा भी है. So I have not hired a writer to do that. So that's now.
Will you be playing the part? What you are writing?
Of course. Yes. मैं किसी और का career क्यों बनाऊँ? मैं भी तो outsider हूँ. मैं एक अलग nepotism शुरू करना चाहती हूँ अपने साथ. वो nepotism में सिर्फ मैं और मैं होंगे.
But thank you, Swara. This was the best line ever. This is all about me, so I'll rather focus on myself on this one.
Yeah, wishing मैं अपनी favorite हूँ. As Geet said in जब भी met, मैं अपनी favorite हूँ.
Done. But we are wishing you all the luck. Don't stop the good work ever. That's all.
Thank you. Thanks, Ankita. Pleasure.
Thank you for your time. Bye.